Welcome back, everybody, and happy Monday. It's April 21st, 2025. Born on this date in 1924, Ira Loudermilk of Section. Now, he took the stage name Ira Louvin and became one half of the gospel and country duo, the Louvin Brothers. Ira was the troubled one and died young in 1965. His brother Charlie lived into his 80s and became one of the elder statesmen of country music in the Grand Ole Opry. Today, we'll catch up on some news from over the weekend, then do something a little different. AL.com has a really promising high school student reporter just finishing up her internship with us, as well as her high school career, and we're going to give her the Down in Alabama exit interview of sorts. I'm Mike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama.
There's a good chance you're dealing with a middleman, like me, when you get your medicines. That's because PBMs and insurers are often the same company. We even own big chain pharmacies and are buying your doctor's office. We decide what medicines you can get, where you get them, and how much you pay. It's a win-win. For me.
When middlemen own it all, you lose. Visit phrma.org/middlemen to learn more. Paid for by Pharma.
For those of you driving through Guntersville on Friday, yes, that was raw chicken parts that shut down part of Highway 431, reports AL.com's Patrick Darrington. A commercial poultry truck apparently spilled part of its load on Gunter Avenue, which was terrible for traffic, but a potential opportunity for anyone who was trying to catch catfish on Lake Guntersville over the weekend. An HBCU Classic football series is heading to Montgomery's Crampton Bowl, reports AL.com's Walisha Morris. Tuskegee and Morehouse have played one another 85 times. Most of their games have been played in Columbus, Georgia, with a few recent Tuskegee-Morehouse Classics being played in Birmingham. The 2023 game drew an attendance of just over 3,000 to Legion Field, which has a capacity of more than 71,000. The Crampton Bowl is a lot cozier with a seating capacity of 21,000. Said Morehouse Athletics Director Harold Ellis, quote, "We are proud to partner with my Morehouse brother, Mayor Stephen Reed, to uphold the legacy of this historic rivalry," end quote. A former Alabama lieutenant governor has passed away, reports AL.com's John Sharp. George McMillan, a Democrat from Greenville, jumped from state lawmaker to the lieutenant governor's office in 1978. He served a term there, and in 1982 mounted a close but unsuccessful bid to beat George Wallace in the primary for governor. Now, he ran for governor and lost again in 1986, and a couple years later switched gears and founded City Stages, a hugely popular music festival in downtown Birmingham that enjoyed a 20-year run. Now, ask any music fan, any live music fan especially, from the Birmingham area about City Stages. I can promise you that they miss it. I remember being there with Hank Jr. and Snoop Dogg playing at exactly the same time. Now, 20 years ago, that was a heck of a night. Governor Kay Ivey had a friendship with McMillan going back to their Auburn days. She called him a man of great ideas throughout his life. George McMillan was 81 years old. And here's another reminder that the Star ID deadline is coming up on May 7th. And Alabama Star ID is a version of the driver's license that is compliant with the federal Real ID Act. Now, its main function is that it allows you to board a domestic flight. Otherwise, you'll have to have an enhanced ID or a passport to get on any plane going forward. Now, you can apply for a Star ID at a driver license office. It requires 4 documents to prove who you are, when you were born, and all that good stuff. Go to the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency's website. Make sure you have what you need before you go. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to have an exit interview with high school intern Brianna Adkins. Y'all stay with us.
Tax day's always a pain. Next year could be a nightmare. If Congress fails to extend Trump's tax cuts, middle-class families will get hit with a huge tax increase. That means less money for groceries, less money to pay your mortgage, less money for school supplies, and less money for family vacations. A $1,500 tax increase? That's enough to give families the cold sweats. Avoid the nightmare. Save Trump's tax cuts. Learn more at protectprosperity.com. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Hey, thanks for staying with us, everybody. Today on Down in Alabama for our second segment, I'd like to welcome to the studio Brianna Adkins. Brianna's a high school intern at AL.com from Carver High School through the Birmingham Promise program. Brianna, thanks for taking the time out of your schedule to talk to us.
Thank you.
We're nearing the end of the academic year and the end of your internship. Thought it might be a great time to do a little exit interview of sorts. Um, First, I want to ask because this is going from my own experience. Are you feeling any senioritis right now? Is that still a thing?
Yes, sir, it is. But I've taken all my classes over the summer, so I don't really feel it as much like the not going to school because I've been mostly into applying for scholarships and internships. But it's definitely a thing. Like when you get out of that mindset of getting ready to graduate and go to college, sort of high school becomes something kind of small to you, but you just have to fight it.
Yeah, you're like, get me to the next thing now.
Yes.
What kind of you have all these high school experiences, and some of mine were what they were billed to be, and some of them may have been a little overhyped to me. I was like, wasn't that big of a deal. How's it been? How's the high school experience been for you?
Oh, it's been great. I can definitely understand your point. Like, prom is pretty hyped up, but it wasn't really that big of a deal for me. But other high school experience, such as the internship, like, it's been amazing. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity. It's giving me a lot of insight in what I want to do when I go to college. It's giving me what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I've definitely learned a lot from my experiences in high school.
Well, tell everybody the kinds of work you did with AL.com.
So AL.com, mostly I just wrote up press releases or any types of stories that I was interested in. A story of mine that I really like is I wrote about the renovation of the H.E. Gaston Motel where they put this coffee shop in there. And I
Okay,
wrote
yeah.
about it and the people liked it so much they decided to put my article up in the coffee shop. So I really just enjoy just, writing stories, relating news, whatever comes to mind and just really putting information out there and I love telling other people's stories.
Oh, yeah, very good. Was that a would you say that was your favorite story, the one on A.G. Gaston?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Did any of your friends see your byline, follow your work?
Yeah, my school is very supportive, so any story that I publish, they'll share it on the school page. And I know a teacher, he came up to me, he was like, he got sent one of my stories from his family members, and he didn't know it was mine until he scrolled down and saw my name. Then when he saw it, he sent it to everybody he knew, and just it just kind of circulated around the school. So I thought that was pretty cool.
As you were working with AL.com this school year, is there anything you feel like you missed out on, or that you would still love to get a chance to do? Is there something you kind of yearn to get into?
Oh, definitely. Like when I go to college, I plan to write in the Army Plainsman. So I definitely yearn to get more experiences like the ones I have from writing my stories, and eventually that experience will lead me to figuring out what I want to do and what type of journalist I want to be. So I definitely yearn for more experiences and writing a variety of different types of stories to really find my niche of what type of writer and story writer that I want to be. So
Uh huh.
definitely that.
Okay. Did anything about the news business surprise you?
It's like I love English. Like English is my favorite subject. So when I
Uh,
switched over to journalism, it's definitely surprised me a bit because it's different. Like as my boss Ruth Servin told me, their writing style is different writing styles. Like in regular English, then you have journalism, the way they write.
yeah.
So I had to adjust to that, and I had to learn like a whole new different type of way to write and how to tell news in an interesting way that will catch people's eyes. But it's been a learning curve, but I've definitely feel like I've adjusted.
Yeah, my reaction when I joined a paper for the first time, a paper because there we go, newspaper, but obviously AL.com's a website. But my thing was, wow, all these one sentence paragraphs, and and you don't
Yes.
do two spaces after a period. That to date myself.
Yes.
What's crazy about this business is that it's impossible to say what it'll be like 10 years from now. That talking about getting into the paper business, is an illustration of that. Um, when you or your friends or your circles that you're in, when somebody says, and maybe they say this, maybe they don't. Hey, I saw this in the news. What's the first, this is sort of philosophical, what's the image, what were they doing? See, in my day they had the paper open at the breakfast table. If they saw it in the news, could it mean anything?
So usually when my friends say they saw something in the news, they'll most likely see it scrolling through one of their apps or social media. Then if it's something that interests them, they'll just send it out and like just forward it to people like through messages. But I don't think any of my friends really read the paper anymore. It's more all online.
Right, right. And here I need to really plug our digital editions of the Birmingham News, the Huntsville Times, the Mobile Press Register. You can subscribe now, but yeah, we do. But yeah, that's how they get it.
Mhm.
Hey, if I saw it in the news, meant it was a headline I saw on Facebook that was shared. So that's part of the deal.
Mhm.
Well, I've heard that you're a pretty top-notch student, and I can tell, it's no surprise. Um, but you also played a little ball in high school, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that.
So I most of my high school journey, I've played basketball. I've always loved basketball. It was really the only sport that interested me. So
Uh,
when I got to high school, they was like, you should definitely try out for the team, and I did, and I loved it, and I played for all 4 years of my high school. And it was an amazing experience. I wouldn't give it back for the world. I wouldn't take anything or change anything. And it was definitely tough balancing basketball, internships, and school,
mhm.
but I loved it. I loved working, and it definitely built me. It gave me that foundation of how to work and push past like your limits and how to be respectful of others, and how to be able to try new things.
There's nothing like a team sport. That's such an important experience. And I know everybody has their own paths, but uh, you know, there's something about doing things for your teammates.
Yes, definitely.
You talked about going to college. Do you have any plans? Do you know where you might be a year from now? Or
Right now, I'm looking forward to attending Auburn University in this
okay,
fall. So, right a year from now, I will be in school with the major of journalism or communications, both, hopefully.
uh,
So, yeah, that will be the goal.
well, that's awesome, and journalism would love to have you. I uh,
Mhm.
I changed a couple times. Everybody says that you change half a dozen times, but sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. We'd be
Mhm.
happy to have you. I loved getting to talk to you. Are we leaving anything out? Anything else you want to say about yourself or about your experience in the AL.com?
I just feel like internships are a very big part of your high school career. So if there's any student out there that wants to like you're unsure about what you want to do, who you want to be, Birmingham Promise is an amazing institution, and they definitely helped me with this internship to figure out the type of person that I want to be when I enter adulthood, and what I want to major in, and what I want the rest of my life to look like. So they've definitely given me the experience I needed to make decisions, important decisions in my life that will help me in a couple years.
Well, the world is yours to kick its butt. So I hope you do. I know you will. Thank you so much for coming on. I enjoyed getting to talk to you.
Okay, thank you.
And thanks everybody for listening to us. We're going to be back here bright and early in the morning. Until then, y'all come by and see what we're doing anytime you want to on the internet at al.com.